Do you think a Trump presidency expands the strike on the East Coast, potential strike, keeps it shorter? Do you think he shortens it? What if the Republicans take over the admin? What do we think happens on the East Coast?
Well, we'd all like to hope and assume that everything comes to fruition. I think, it could go either way with, depending on if it's, I think the biggest part between what I've seen so much on the election coming up, not so much with the terminals and the ILA and strike, there haven't heard much talk about, what's going to happen. What I've heard mostly is the tariffs is the big sticker, right? And this is the overall part of the supply chain. A lot of shippers and BCOs have already been doing the China plus one, moving their sourcing to Southeast Asia, India, and different markets to that nature, just to keep the cost off their plate and to keep things diversified. I think if Trump wins this year and we go into that side of the election, we'll probably see this China plus one escalate, and there'll be an expedited move on trying to find other factories and resourcing. If Harris's administration stays into play, depending if she pushes the tariffs the way the Trump administration will, there'll still be the China plus one, but it'll just be planned out and escalated at a slower rate.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he's planning to increase it 60% on China imports, China tariffs.
Yeah, it depends on what the goods are. In some cases, I think vehicles are battery electric vehicles 100% tariff on it. So there's perspective or potential for really aggressive tariffs, which we've seen before. This isn't the first time. If you look back at 2019, 2020 when tariffs were being rolled out, there was a massive move of a lot of shippers who were doing business in Asia to say, I'm going to move my sourcing and my manufacturing to Eastern Europe and then take advantage of the East Coast ports, which we've seen here. But of course, there's the potential for the strike there. There's an awful lot to balance.